Wow, this lake is absolutely glass.
Good morning. So we got up around 4. We started hiking around 5. And I have 6 different plans for today. Potential plans. Plan A is a 50-kilometer day, which is a little over 31 miles. Actually, it would have to be more like 33 miles because of the camping sites, but whatever. Plan B is a 30-mile day, also a cool milestone. Plan C is a marathon day, also a cool milestone. Plan D is 20 miles, which is the amount we would need to go today and tomorrow to get to Shelter Cove tomorrow. Plan E is anything less than 20 miles. And Plan F is SOS button. So one of those plans should be accomplished today. Hopefully Plan A. But we have plenty of backup plans, so we'll keep you posted on how it goes.
Unfortunately, we, despite having made plans to get a good night's sleep and get sufficient sleep to wake up early to do this 50K attempt, we both had one of our worst nights of sleep on trail, which it tends to be coupled, if one of us isn't sleeping super well, we'll be rolling around more and disturbing the other one. But I think this was truly both of us. Even if I were sleeping alone, I think I would have gotten terrible sleep. So the shared factors, because we went to bed at 9:15 to get up at 4, which should be plenty of sleep. But so the shared factors were we all the way back to Bend. We were very sleep deprived in Bend, both because we wanted to do all the stuff that we were doing in town and also hang out with the family. But also our room was so hot in Bend, and we both got terrible quality sleep in Bend. So even though we were getting about 7 hours of sleep in Bend, it felt like 4. It was very poor quality sleep. So anyway, we were super sleep deprived for 3 days. So then, the past 3 nights before last night, we were sleeping like 10 hours a night. And we were kind of going to bed around 10 p.m. and waking up at around 8 a.m. Okay, paused for hiker. So, but I mean, with that schedule, going to bed at 9:15 shouldn't have been that hard, even though we were going to bed at like 10:15 to 10:30. Anyway, so that was one factor. Second shared factor is we are both, knowing this, we're both kind of stressed about getting the sleep in time, which usually I can combat by just focusing on how pleasant it is to lay and just focusing on not being in a rush to fall asleep. But around hour 3 at midnight, I was starting to get stressed. I had already been stressed. And Pamela was stressed about waking up in time. So, you know how your body can sometimes prevent you from going into like a really deep, solid sleep because you have to get up in the morning? I think that was kind of at play as well. Other factors for Pamela and I, we both had coffee at 4 p.m. at Elk Lake. But, in my normal life, I can drink a cup of coffee and then go right to bed. And, neither of us are very sensitive to caffeine. And then furthermore, I didn't even think about this, and I probably wouldn't have done this, but I had my Shasta, the day hiker gave to me, right before bed, which also made me have to pee more during the night. That was another factor for me. Other factors for Pamela were she was super hot last night, and when I'm warm, and I sleep warmer than Pamela does, which is why we have the double quilt. When I'm warm, I just do well without covers, but Pamela has a hard time sleeping without covers. So even though she's hot, her body will not let her toss the covers off in the night. And then the final reason that I can think of, or that Pamela can think of, is in the middle of the night, she wakes up and says, "Henry, can I have a Tums? I'm still digesting my nachos." So that was another issue. And actually, about an hour ago, she asked me for another Tums because she's still digesting her nachos. And I'm like, "Really? You're still?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm still burping nachos." So it's legit. The nachos are still being digested. They are still in her stomach. That is how big of nachos they were.
Also the dreams.
What'd you say?
I said also the dreams.
Oh yeah, Pamela was having vivid dreams, which was making it harder to sleep. So yeah, we both got extremely poor sleep. This is probably one of my top 3 worst nights of sleep on the PCT. Same for Pamela. So we got that going against us. But you know what we got going for us is, well, Pamela had picked out this section. She uses far out in elevation mode almost exclusively. So she thinks in elevation mode, and I think in topo normal map mode. Anyway, she had already picked out this section as a possible 50K. Then the lady we were camped with last night, who's going north, further confirmed that there are no lava fields, and B, there are no significant sections of blowdowns, and 3, as we have found, there's a significant mosquito presence. Nothing nearly as bad as that section south of Burning Falls, but there is still a mosquito presence, which tends to keep us moving a bit more. This is interesting. It's like a mixture of the old, and the new. One thing that's really helping us today is the weather. It's overcast and nice and cool, good for hiking. But at least from the forecast, not supposed to rain. I don't think I've commented on this blaze, but that's what the blaze is along the trail. It's kind of like a lowercase I. Well, it's not that there are no blowdowns. Just, I don't know, I'd actually say there's like more blowdowns today than the day before. But most of them are pretty easy to get through.
All right, update. Ooh, sorry, I think a mosquito did it fly through my thumb hole. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it is 10 o'clock, 9:59 maybe, and we have gone 13.2 miles, which I think we've only actually done one 10 by 10 before. It was going into Kennedy Meadows. We've come close on some other occasions, but anyway, so doing pretty good overall. Our plan is to get to about halfway, around 17-ish miles, because the tent site's at 33, and set up the tent to eat lunch, do stretching, etc. So now I'm going to try to walk and find where a tent site might be that we could easily pop it up.
Good news from back here.
Good news.
Irish Lake and tent site has water and tent sites in 3.33 miles. And best part is people have commented mosquitoes not bad at all here compared to the 10 miles Nobo.
Okay.
Someone else said was able to eat my dinner outside without too much trouble. So that's excellent news.
Maybe we won't even have to set up the tent, although now my heart's kind of set on it. I love the tent. We'll see.
It does make sense that there are so many mosquitoes in this section. There are just an insane number of ponds like that one, but also bigger lakes, which are probably still technically ponds. Who knows? But yeah, you look on the topo map and it looks, there's just lakes and ponds everywhere. Definitely explains it. All right, Pamela, in her desperation, is getting into the tent, and I'm gonna set it up around her.
Woo! I'm safe. I need to make sure there's none in here, actually.
Pamela just said, "Ooh, this is nice. Actually, you don't even have to set it up. This is fine."
I feel great.
All right, I'm gonna set it up now. So I asked Pamela if, medically speaking, it were theoretically possible for a man to eat 1/3 of a pound of peanut butter in a sitting, and she thought it was possible. Well, I am here today to tell you, empirically, it is possible. I just ate 1/3 of a pound of peanut butter in a single sitting. All right, we've taken a 2.5 hour lunch break, complete with nap. And Pamela did a full stretch. Excellent job, Pamela. And we are off. This burn we're walking through is a really fresh burn. And it's a very stark contrast with the green grass of the pond. Got some nice clouds over there. So sad. All the fires, all the burn, all the black. Wow, I managed to get even more apocalyptic. Those are some nice clouds. So fluffy.
Alright, well, I'm gonna go, I guess, get in the laundry room. We got another sign here. Wow, the light on this one is amazing.
Yeah, that's so true.
They got me pumped.
Wow, we just had some fantastic trail magic. Henry and I both thought that it's probably the best trail magic we've had on the whole PCT. It was this couple who was making hot dogs, and they had cold sodas. They had a Coke, my favorite. It's kind of convenient that my favorite is also like America's favorite. They had like big bags of chips. I had some cheese ruffles and Doritos, the blue kind. Ranch, Cool Ranch, is that what they are? Anyway, I'm a big Dorito fan, so that was amazing. And some Oreos. I will say the Oreos tasted weird. I couldn't figure out if it's just because I haven't had an Oreo in so long. Because if I get Oreos, I always get the Oreo Thins. But I don't know, they had like a weird flavor. But beggars can't be choosers, and they were still good. So yeah, Oreos, chips, hot dogs, sodas, amazing. And they had all those really cute signs that I just tried to film a few of them. And the guy like painted all of them. They've come out here for years. I guess they come out here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And yeah, super nice people. It was a really nice place to sit. And so fun that our best trail magic ever is on our, hopefully, if all continues to go well, longest day ever. So Henry's getting us some water from the lake, and I am continuing on. And I think we have about 11 more miles, so we've gone like 22 miles probably so far. So yeah, we were not accounting for the time at that stop, but I think it was well worth it. And headlamp is easily accessible if I need it.
Time check. It's 4:24 and we've gone 22.1 miles. So we're still doing well. We got waylaid by some trail magic, which I'm sure Pamela filmed a little segment of, but this was probably the best trail magic we've gotten yet. They were cooking up hot dogs and had cold sodas and chips and Oreos and chairs. Oh my gosh, chairs, amazing. The weather was perfect. There were no mosquitoes in that little area, and it was wonderful. Oh, they also had a trail log, which was really fun because you get to see, we kind of left our bubble with our 3.5 days in Bend, but it was fun to see who went by, and also to see some Nobos. A guy we met before the Sierras, he's made it through, and we had somehow missed him on trail today, probably during our nap break. But he was at the Trail Magic earlier. The other thing I'll say about Trail Magic is often you'll hear about it from people going the opposite direction. So we heard about it 6 miles before it. Some guy said Trail Magic 6 miles. And we've learned to, lower expectations, because at least once we missed a guy cooking hamburgers by not that long. And we had been told about it all day. So it is, like many things in life, helpful to manage your expectations and be just pleasantly surprised by good things. And to that point, I was filtering water at the lake afterwards, and this guy comes up. He's like, "Is this where the Trail Magic is?" And I was like, "Oh no, actually, just go. If you hurry, go about 0.1 or 0.2, and you might still catch them." They said about 10 minutes ago they were taking it down in 30, and actually when we were exiting, Ducky's dad was taking down the signs pointing people in that direction. So I hope that guy got it, because that was certainly some good Trail Magic. That Trail Magic was also very thoughtfully arranged. So Ducky's dad was telling us that he puts a sign about 0.2 miles south, because the Nobos, there's a nice lake point, access point trail, and so they'll often eat lunch and go for a swim and then be full for Trail Magic. So he puts the sign there with notification that there are hot dogs to alert people to not fill up at the lake, which is very thoughtful, well run. The other thing is that we have apparently passed the Nobo bubble. He said there were more Sobos today than Nobos, which is very interesting. You can kind of get a sense from the trail registers, but it's really helpful to have someone who's keeping stats at Trail Magic to just give us an update on the bubbles. Oh, also, they had some newspaper clippings from the fire, the burn zone we had just walked through. And so I got to do one of my favorite things, which is to eat a meal while reading the newspaper. That was magical. This old growth forest is incredible. So much wide open space, big trees, moss, sunlight. We got these piles of rocks. I love those. That's fun. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. All right, where have we come?
We've gone a marathon. Technically just a tiny bit over a marathon, 26.3. That's the good news.
It's 5:54.
And we made an extra stop. We weren't planning on stopping at Trail Magic. That was a surprise. The bad news is still have like
6.5.
6.5 miles to go, because there's no campsite at the 50 kilometers. So we have to go like an extra 2 miles.
How are you feeling?
This is a one-time thing. If it even happens, I don't know, it's not done yet, but if this happens, it's a one-time thing. I'm feeling good in the sense of like, my life is almost going to get a lot better because this will be over, but also bad because everything hurts.
You might be wondering, how's old Smokey doing? Well, folks, Smokey's taken one too many times through the space-time continuum and starting to get disintegrated by all of his time and space travel. He may no longer be with us soon. Another note, my label's peeling, so I might get a new life water. Also, the inside the cap is coated with mold. Hasn't hurt me yet, to my knowledge. Maybe it's even helping me. I don't know. I once asked a renowned expert on fungus and molds if eating moldy bread was bad for you. She looked at me very strangely. Couldn't really figure out why I was asking the question, but her ultimate answer was probably not. So I'm guessing the mold slash fungus slash whatever it is in this cap probably won't hurt me either.
All right, everyone. Plan B has been achieved. I've officially gone 30 miles. As you know, Plan A is the 50K. So I have another mile and a little bit more to achieve Plan A. I will keep you updated.
All right, I'm 3/4 of a mile from the cabin, which we're not going to stay in, despite it being highly reviewed on Far Out, because Pamela likes, very understandably, a house with no mosquitoes in it, not few mosquitoes in it. Also, no mice. How am I doing? My Achilles tendons bilaterally are sore. Everything else is pretty good, I would say, all things considered.
All right, update. It is 8:08, and Plan A has been accomplished, which is great news. Hike to 50K. Don't know that I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna say definitely not, but my feet do hurt. I think in a way that you would expect. Again, I would have stopped if I thought I was like injuring myself. But anyway, now comes the unfortunate 1.73 miles additional that must be walked because that's the next campsite. But I should be able to get there before it gets too dark, which is good. And yeah, we've been wanting to do this, so I'm excited that it happened.
All right, 8:23, made it to the cabin. I love the architecture. It's beautiful. We'll see what's up.
Can't see too much of it, but there is a really nice sunset here. And I'm going up a little bit, so maybe I'll be able to see some more.